You want to get into this?
Let's do it. All right. So first thing, reviewing action items. Were there any action items? I think it was just the
Then
shared RFC thing, right, Derek?
RFC. Yep, and
Which,
that's complete.
yep, it's in. Well, the RFC is complete. There's no
The
shared instance
RFCs.
yet.
Yes, yes. That's a card called out in the next set of the agenda items. But yes, the RFC is accepted and therefore complete in itself,
All
but
right.
not the execution. Agree.
Cool. All right. So that's action items reviewed then. Uh, 714 release. Yeah, that's out. Went out without any hitches or anything. Looks like things are running smoothly. And yeah, excited to see what feedback people have. Excited to see people if they start using that pipeline identity token feature too. That's a pretty cool thing that I would have really liked having at the previous place I was at. That we were doing a lot of AWS stuff, and something like this would have just been super helpful for dealing with credentials and everything. But yeah, 714, it's out. It's got a lot of like little bug fixes and stuff as well. Um,
Yeah,
and yeah,
we definitely can't wait to play around with it. So yeah, most probably very soon we will try to test it out on our landscapes as well. So yeah,
nice.
feedback will come.
Fantastic. All right. That is 714 then. If you want to know more, read the release notes. All right. Shared concourse instance. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, Derek, go.
yeah. We talked about this a little bit during the costing meeting for the CFF yesterday, which is no more. The costing is no longer a current meeting for the CFF. Um, but the topic will obviously stay top of mind, and we'll have targeted things that we'll do with it as like working groups as costs change, or we get, sorry, I gotta sneeze. As
Bless you.
thank you. Um, as we get some of the billing accounts and can do committed use and like some of those things, all that kind of stuff, we'll implement that and use those appropriately in our accounts, including Concourse. Um, and I imagine that'll come in handy as we find what the right scale is of the shared Concourse instance and set of machines for the groups as we onboard them. What was agreed to was to target about this time next month, onboarding at least one pipeline from the ARP working group. So that is the target. It means I have to get in action and actually do those things, and set it up in a way that they'll be able to get permissions and onboard and whatnot. So yeah, that now there's a deadline. Deadlines are good.
Yes.
They make things
Uh,
happen.
what's the, how should I put it, not the volume of pipelines, but overall workload you expect? Because here we have also this so-called central concourse, which is a shared instance, and currently I I think that we have some good metrics on how it behaves. It's
Mm.
handling something like 3,200 pipelines, and I think it's something like 25,000 jobs or something like that. So yeah, it still has some issues here and there, I guess, more or less around rendering the UI, but overall the instance is pretty stable.
I can say it's almost assuredly well below that in terms of the volume of pipelines and jobs, though admittedly the job count I'm a little less confident in, right? We have 10 working groups, and I can't imagine more than like tens of pipelines even between all of them. So I would I'd feel really confident saying less than 1,000 pipelines, but probably more than 200, right?
Mhm.
Between all of them. Um, I'd be interested if you're able to share some of the if you have any of the operational
Mhm.
things you've done to keep it running clean, as
Yeah,
it were, like from maintenance perspective, or like guardrails you decided to
yeah.
enable within the system. That would be useful to share within
Mm.
this group for that context. But um, yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
think
have
that's probably
we
the range.
definitely have a lot of automations around monitoring or how the instance is used, because it's used by that's around 60 different teams. So from a user perspective, it's probably counting like 300 or 400 users who are using the instance. So we have to keep it in place and in some sort of tracks here and there, even though you have some processes, etc. But nevertheless, when you have so many people, you need to keep it maintained. So yeah, we have a lot of monitoring in place and jobs even from our perspective so that we can monitor the use itself. So yeah, we can share some details probably in the next meeting. We will try to arrange something to share you with some details.
Awesome.
Okay, and I guess
Cool.
the next ones are mine or ours. I should say, not exactly mine. I don't believe they are mine, but yeah.
Yep.
So
Go
we
ahead.
have
Take it away.
this request from one of those stakeholders, which I mentioned specifically around MTLS and the Fly CLI. I'm not sure if that topic was discussed. We were just curious if that was probably discussed in the past. Taylor, I'm not sure if you remember. Do you know anything about MTLS and with Fly?
No, I don't think MTLS has been brought up with Fly. MTLS in general, I don't think has been brought up much. The only thing that I think might have been
Mm,
brought up in the past was MTLS with regards to the web nodes or something.
yeah.
It's usually what makes me sad is MTLS. As an operator, I'm like, oh no, it's got to rotate.
Oh, yeah. Ugh, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, nothing, yeah, as far as I can recall,
Okay.
anything MTLS related for the Fly CLI. Did you have a chance to search for any issues or anything?
I think I did search. I did make a quick search, but I didn't find anything, even in the closed ones. So I'm not exactly
There's
sure if
probably
anything was.
nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's probably
Well,
nothing historically as far as people wanting to implement or get that set
Yeah.
up.
it's hard when you have multi-client in that perspective, right? Like who's issuing this? I'm assuming you're not
Yeah.
expecting to use a shared certificate, right,
Mm,
for all instances of the Fly CLI in that context. So
yeah.
I'm interested in how you would operationalize that. Like if anything, I'd see something closer to like a, oh gosh, what are those? What's that like Microsoft's like Spinego token, like the machine identity
Mm,
tokens, like kind of deal? What's the like
yeah.
Active Directory stuff, right?
Yeah.
I just had to learn about this and it's awful, but it is useful for this kind of thing.
Mm,
Old tech, useful for this kind of stuff.
yeah. Exactly.
Sorry,
But
Christo,
yeah.
what was the
Mm.
use case y'all were kind of
No, no.
thinking of for this?
From our perspective, that's the whole thing that we were discussing how exactly we can implement the whole certificate approach. And yeah, nothing straightforward came to mind. So that's why we wanted to discuss if that was even brought up even in the past. It's not like something which we say we have to have it or something like that, but we want to bring the topic up if even if we've had any discussions so that we know what's the state of the community around that topic. But
Yeah,
yeah, I think we
is
agree
that
on the whole
so?
thing.
It okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it's hard to implement. I think it's not that much of a it doesn't bring that much value from what we see.
No, right? Because
Yeah.
like you already have to authenticate to do things within the system, right? So like trust of the client general like of the user of Fly should already be kind of inherent to the interactions with the concourse instance. So then it becomes a, do you trust the concourse instance?
Yeah.
Which, the standard certificate flow should generally give you enough, hopefully, confidence
Mm.
in that. And then you can stay out of the awful game of trying to issue a, what you'd have to do is you'd have to like build Fly binaries on the fly or something, or wrap something that does that, right? When you download them, and then you'd have to gross. I don't like it.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't like trying to operationalize that. I'm really crazy.
Definitely. Okay, so let's not go deeper into that rabbit hole because yeah. So the
Cool.
next one I just wanted to after now we have a successful release of 7.14. Kudos Taylor.
Mhm.
I named this one the road to V8 because I remember the road to V10. But yeah, now
Good
the next one
callback.
I guess Yeah, the next one is in place. I guess the next expected release would be the V8. I'm just asking because the FIPS topic is probably one which we are mostly interested in. So yeah, I'm just curious about the plans of the V8 for the V8 and yeah, what we can expect going forward.
Yeah. Yeah, geez, there's a lot that is going to go into that. The one thing, and I'll just throw it as an item here, is the discussion post there kind of has everything that I want to go into V8, mostly all the big breaking changing things or behavioral things that we want to kind of like change and stuff, like even stuff like just changing some of the defaults of like various things, like changing the container runtime officially to container D as the default. Um, and even like smaller stuff, like I'm just looking at the list in that discussion and like, changing the inputs field on a put step to always be detect instead of all and stuff like that. That's an easy win that everyone would be happy with. So all that kind of stuff. I should probably groom this so it's actually like a set of issues and everything, and then we can like, slowly one by one, people can pick them up, help close them and whatnot. So I can start doing that now. Now that we have 714 kind of behind us, and we can, yeah, just keep looking ahead towards what we want to do with V8. And yeah, we got to look at that. There's one other like migration thing, the big end migration thing that I need to wrap my head on because I don't have all the context for that. So I need to kind of go through all the issue history and whatnot, investigate that and everything. And yeah, and I know like there's a couple PRs that are open right now still with a bunch of other
Yeah.
like V8-ish stuff and everything. So that's kind of all top of mind of like for me at least to want to start reviewing and tackling some of that stuff. Like I know another one actually that I'm probably going to circle back to sooner is the identifier enforcement that we had set up there. Because I think there's like some nuance going on there with, I'm not sure we want to enforce the identifier necessarily everywhere. Specifically, what I'm thinking right now loosely is like, I don't know if we want to enforce it as hard with the step names as an example, but again, these are kind of just off the cuff thoughts I've had. I kind of need to do a bit more thinking, research, and validating them a bit more to figure out, yeah, how exactly we want this to land. And yeah, and if we want to land it like this, like ideally in my head, we we will, but I don't want to cause a lot of pain for end users as well. So I'm trying to be very cognizant of specifically that part, right? I don't want to make a big breaking change and it just creates a bunch of work for people that just upsets a lot of people. So we'll see what we do even with that one specifically. But yeah, so just it's going to be a lot of that kind of stuff of for V8. And yeah, I'm just looking here if there's anything else as well. But I don't think there is too much else. Yeah, possibly removing some old fields that aren't even used and stuff. And yeah, there's already some stuff that's already been merged in master, so it's already like good to go, like the MD5 hashing thing. But yeah, I don't know, is there anything that you specifically wanted to bring up in regards to V8 breaking changes stuff, the
No,
FIP
our
stuff?
main focus is the FIP stuff. The FIP stuff is the most important one for V8, at least from our
Cool.
perspective. So that's the one we are aiming for.
Awesome.
Maybe here is I have one question regarding the FIPS. I'm not sure, Taylor, if you was able to see there is one comment in the PR from Alexander, I think.
Oh yes,
yeah.
yes, I did see that
I've
one.
tried
Yeah.
to set up similar database entries in resource config versions with empty version, but I'm not able to do so. I cannot find in our internal database instances such versions, and I'm not sure if we need to implement his suggestion. If you know how can we set up a resource with empty version, which is currently the question from him. So yeah,
Yeah,
I've tried with time resource. Yeah, with
I'm even
many
wondering
resources.
I'm wondering if he has a really old Concourse database. It might be something like that, or something really old emitted something like that. Because yeah, I can't think of anything that emits an empty version. I'd have to. Yeah, I'm not. I can't think of anything that emits an empty version. Like I could maybe make the mock resource, force
I've
that to
tried.
emit an empty version. Hey, you tried already. All right, there's.
With time resource, with GitHub release resource, with pretty much every resource that I find.
Yeah. All right. We might have to just ping him then, just for more details, because that feedback from him is very valuable. Because that is the kind of stuff like that worries me the most with that PR specifically. That we're gonna
Yeah,
break a bunch of people's databases, trigger a bunch of jobs and stuff. As you know, we saw from I think it was I can't remember if it was him as well. I think it
yeah.
it
He
was
find
them,
it.
but before, yeah, that
He
found
find it.
that issue before.
It
So
was
yeah,
the JSON format in the Postgres.
yeah, that's right.
That's
The
a break.
ordering of the
Yeah,
keys and
yeah.
everything. Yeah. So
I'll ping them again in the PR then.
yep, let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah, any weird stuff like that will be good. And yeah, even actually the fact that there's nulls makes me think like, oh, maybe they have a really old database. Because maybe that
I'm
was
not
something
sure.
we did previously.
Yeah, I'm not sure how is calculated the MD5 version with no, but
Yeah,
yeah.
It's
yeah,
magic.
it's strange. Apparently. All right.
Okay, and on the
I think that's
final
V8.
question, let's say, I guess we already have the answer in the action items, but yeah, that's probably one of the things we can share some details around operating a big shared instance. But yeah, if anything else we can be of assistance with, yeah, we're open for helping out because yeah, we have some experience with operating big instances, definitely, of Concourse. So
Yeah,
yeah, we just
whatever.
wanted to share. If you need any assistance, yeah, feel free to ping us even in the Discord channel. We're available there as well.
Yeah, if you have like resources of like tuning, essentially like what I think I'm most interested in is like the metrics you were paying attention
Mm-hmm.
to, like in that context, and like what are the operational jobs that you have running or like configurations, right, that you're doing is like we put these guardrails right on the way containers spin up or the number of things teams can run or whatever, like all like the log retention right against this size, like this is the ratio we've used, things like that I think are like kind
Yeah.
of the like you don't know until it hits you kind of deal, and then if we can avoid getting hit,
Even
that'd be great.
we even had a specific job which was recreating pipelines every week because in the past, if you remember, there was an issue with the garbage collection of the jobs. So I think in version 6 something that
Yeah, a
was
long
fixed.
time ago, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it didn't
before
it
that,
didn't clean up. Yeah.
we still have that job in place because we are removing it safely because we had so many issues with the database back then. But now at least I guess it seems like it's working normally. But yeah,
But you still have that job running. What did you run it on? Like, do you and do you like
in
so everyone
Concourse
just
itself,
is.
it's working internally. I'll share more
Yeah.
details. I'll try to summarize
Okay.
everything somehow in
Okay.
probably some sort of a document so that you can be able to visualize the whole thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Interesting. But yeah,
Okay.
in terms of, I mean, just because this brings up a thing, migration to the CF Foundation, like for all intents and purposes, we're migrated except for the fact that lawyers are signing documents and I can't influence it one way or the other. So there's nothing that is problematic as far as I'm aware, other than the fact that it's not. So it's actually on the Linux Foundation this time, currently.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
even
okay.
less influence for me at the moment.
It's happening though. Cool.
It's happening.
Good. Good to
All
hear.
right. Anything else that people just want to bring up that they just thought of throughout the meeting? Nope. All right. Cool.
Okay.
We are done, folks. Thank you for coming and
Thank you guys.
participating.
Bye.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Bye.